So, Justin Trudeau and his island of misfit ministers have been embarrassing Canada for years now. So, obviously, it's no surprise when they continue to embarrass Canada. I think the only question is at this point is, are they doing it intentionally? They certainly seem to hate Canada enough to make it a plausible possibility. But here we have the latest. Chrystia Freeland, that's the Deputy Prime Minister of Canada and the Finance Minister, she comments on Canada's warning to members of the LGBTQ2S plus community traveling to some parts of the United States. That's right, there's been a travel advisory for Canadians traveling to the United States because apparently some states aren't as woke as Trudeau. So here's the relevant part from travel.gc.ca. Some states have enacted laws and policies that may affect 2SLGBTQI plus persons. Check relevant state and local laws. Now, I always find the plus amusing. The plus is like, they're not sure what it is, or it's just something they haven't thought of yet, but just in case, somebody's sexually attracted to waterfalls, they want to make them feel included. So that person's a plus. But let's go to this tweet from Toronto Today. And I think this sums it up nicely. And here's a statement from the spokesperson from Foreign Affairs Canada regarding this warning to Canadians. Since the beginning of 2023, certain states in the U.S. have passed laws banning drag shows and restricting the transgender community from access to gender-affirming care and from participation in sporting events. And since this comes from the Canadian government, the current Canadian government, of course, it's totally misleading. Facts. Drag shows are not banned anywhere, but in some states or jurisdictions, they are only permitted in adult environments or minors cannot attend. So if you're planning to go down to Florida and do a drag show for 5-year-olds, well, you might have a problem. But I don't know. It just seems kind of reasonable to me. Gender-affirming care is not banned for adults anywhere, just for minors in some places. So if you want to take your child down to some places in the United States to have them mutilated, you're out of luck. You'll have to go to California instead. Nobody is banned from competing in sporting events, but they might be restricted to certain categories relating to gender, and which is not unpopular, by the way. But they end it with, so there we have a one-sentence release from an official, and it's full of errors, omissions, or half-truths. That's our government for you. Yeah, not surprising. None of this is surprising coming from the Trudeau Liberals. Jonathan Kay says, so we're best friends with China, but some U.S. states decided that 14-year-olds can't cut their boobs off, and the libs are like, whoa, that will not stand. I mean, how this is the hill they want to die on, I'm just astonished. I guess it's just because they've got nothing else. The only thing they can do effectively is virtue signal, and it's always worked in the past for them, so they're just going to kick that dead horse into dust, I guess. Now, I have a video here of Chrystia Freeland being asked about this, and I really hate to do this to you because listening to her for 2 minutes, I know, I don't want to do it either. Listening to her is even more toxic than those paper straws that they make you drink out of. But it's important to listen to what these people actually say or don't say. It's important to stare into the void, to expose yourself to the utter emptiness and cynicism of these obscene political creatures. Now, we're going to take breaks because 2 minutes, I don't want to be responsible for giving anybody brain damage. So we'll cut it up a couple of times just to take a break. We need an intermission, but let's get started.
Your government issued the travel advisory for LGBTQ plus people to the United States, and was this something you discussed with President Biden, or your government discussed with President Biden first?
As someone who has had the real privilege of serving as Canada's foreign minister, I know that our travel advisories are done very professionally. We have professionals in the government whose job is to look carefully around the world and to monitor whether there are particular dangers to particular groups of Canadians. That's their job, and it's the right thing to do.
Ugh, this couldn't be any worse if she'd gotten Kamala Harris to say it for her.
I have personal experience of dealing with a diversity of U.S. administrations and of dealing with American leaders at all levels of government, in all branches of government, and with Americans who represent diverse groups across the country, whether it is business or labor or civic organizations. And that's because our government understands.
So actually, you know what? We're not going to listen to her anymore. I'm not going to put you through that. She doesn't actually say anything. It's just a bunch of babbling. And obviously, she didn't talk to Biden about the travel advisory. It's just another knee-jerk woke reaction from an incompetent government. They're down in the polls, and they think, again, they don't know how to do anything else. It's worked for them in the past. Just keep doing it, even past the point where it's now counterproductive to their interests. I mean, what else are they going to do? What are they going to do? Balance the budget? That ain't going to happen. So what else can you do but just fall on the old classics, huh? Oh, the United States is scary. There's states down there where you can't even mutilate your children. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.